Upper Moon 3. Akaza. I'm sure everyone is familiar with him. Powerful strength. Principled, can be said to be a breath of fresh air among demons. So, what deeper metaphor lies in his encounter with the flame Hashira? And what was the battle with Tanjiro in the Infinity Castle about? This episode will use a character biography format to comprehensively discuss this demon pursuing the pinnacle of martial arts. Are those who walk the criminal path necessarily extremely evil? Obviously not all of them. Among them, perhaps some were forced by cruel society and fate. Sometimes heaven is very strange. It lets the wicked receive their due punishment, but also enjoys toying with some innocent good people. 200 years ago in Edo, Japan, a boy barely in his teens became a pickpocket early on. His name was Hakuji. Though young, he was a regular at the local magistrate's office. His arm bore 3 tattoos representing a criminal. He had even endured 100 strikes that ordinary people couldn't bear, far from showing any remorse. He laughed wildly, saying, "Kill me or torture me, as you like. Even if you cut off both my hands, I still have feet. Even with feet alone, I'll steal for you to see." In the police's eyes, he was a complete hoodlum, who understood that behind this hoodlum's desperate stealing was to protect someone. His relatives had died one after another, leaving only a father to depend on. His father was plagued by illness, bedridden. All the burden fell on the boy alone. He had to work hard to become strong, because curing his father was the meaning and motivation for his efforts. If he became stronger, he could easily escape with stolen wallets and evade the magistrate's arrest. But suddenly, one day, his father was gone. What he was protecting disappeared. He didn't understand why his father chose to give up, when he himself didn't care about dying at all. On the street, he deliberately picked fights with wealthy adults, punch after punch after punch, as if venting his dissatisfaction with this unfair heaven. In no time, several adults fell under his fists. It was at this moment a benefactor entered his world, Master Keizo. His wife had recently committed suicide by drowning. His misfortune was no better than Hakuji's, yet he could face life with strength and optimism, often wearing the same smile as Tanjiro on his face, like the sun shining into Hakuji's eyes, into a world just covered with a layer of gray. Transform yourself completely. Master Keizo had a daughter named Koyuki. Like Hakuji's father, she suffered from illness. What moved Hakuji was the first time he came to the Soryu dojo. Master entrusted him with caring for his daughter, despite his background, and if Master Keizo was the benefactor who let Hakuji see there was still light in this world, then Koyuki gave Hakuji the motivation to move forward. It was their kindness and Hakuji's own desire to protect that gave redemption to the once self-destructive Hakuji. And for Koyuki, her world had only been hopeless gray as well. It was Hakuji's appearance that brought her light. Tonight there seemed to be fireworks. "You should go, Hakuji." Hakuji told her, "When your dizziness gets better, I'll carry you to the bridge to see them. Even if we can't go today, next year, and the year after, we'll have fireworks too. We can go then." Time flies. Years pass. 3 years later, Hakuji had grown into an adult. Koyuki gradually overcame her illness. Everything seemed to be developing in a good direction. As the saying goes, don't fear love at first sight. Only fear growing love over time. The spark of love between the boy and girl was just a paper thin away from breaking through. One day, happiness descended upon Hakuji without warning. Master Keizo wanted Hakuji to inherit the dojo, and said Koyuki liked him too. Hakuji only felt the happiness came too suddenly. Somewhat unreal, he had never had expectations for the future. In his heart, he was only a criminal. He didn't deserve to be liked. Recalling his father's last words, "You can start over." He really thought he could, as his father said, start over, and live a normal life. Under the starry sky, cherry blossoms kept blooming. Colorful fireworks added a touch of romance to this pitch-black night. "Will you marry me?" From this moment, Hakuji made up his mind to become stronger than anyone, to protect this happiness with his life. However, all these beautiful things were all just heaven's cruel joke. No matter how beautiful, fireworks only last an instant. The author uses fireworks to foreshadow the ending of this story. That day, Hakuji couldn't wait to share the good news with his father. Unexpectedly, upon returning, terrible news called Hakuji from heaven straight down to hell. His fiancée and Keizo were poisoned to death, meaning Hakuji, who had just found redemption, would completely fall into the dark abyss. He single-handedly attacked the neighboring sword dojo, killing dozens with his bare hands. Such a shocking murder case, methods even crueler than demons, soon attracted Muzan's visit. No choice. After all, demon-haunting rumors appeared in an area without demons. He was curious too. Just like that, Hakuji was forcibly injected with demon blood by Muzan, from then on becoming a demon that only pursued power. Renamed Akaza. Understanding Akaza's character biography, we understand turning people into demons is like an illness. So guess what illness Akaza represents? This answer has long circulated online. However, I think the author's prototype isn't just a virus, but also Komanu. Hakuji and Komanu, the names are similar. Hakuji was born with a pair of teeth, plus the author also had Keizo say, "You're just like me after all." you can't function without something to protect, like the komanu that guard shrines. What are komanu? According to sources, wives transmitted to Japan are called komanu. Originated in India, entered Korea from China along with Buddhism, then came to Japan. I wonder if the prayer beads on Akaza's feet are related to Buddhism. If so, what does wearing prayer beads on feet represent? Any knowledgeable friends can enlighten everyone. In any case, komanu have the meaning of protection. When what's being protected disappears, then Hakuji, who became strong to protect, naturally was left with only the obsession to become stronger. Though he lost his memories the moment he became a demon, everything about him is inseparable from his past. The tattoos representing dignity on his arms spread all over his body. His hair color corresponds to Koyuki's kimono. All his blood demon art technique names are taken from the fireworks he watched with Koyuki. The snowflake pattern when his compass unfolds is the same design as Koyuki's hairpin. He reveres the strong, despises the weak, because the weak won't fight fair and square. In his bones he likes humans, silent and taciturn in Muzan's company. When encountering the Demon Slayer Corps, he becomes chatty. Additionally, he has his own demon principles, that is, whether Demon Slayer Corps or ordinary people. He never kills women. This point contrasts with Doma, who only eats women, forming two extremes. Because of this, he gets along worst with Doma. The Demon Slayer records mention because he uses things important to him as technique names. You can see that deep in his heart, his loved ones still exist. He has no feelings for Muzan, only sees him as someone who gives orders. No respect, fear, or hatred for the one he follows. Regarding not killing women, Muzan tolerates this. He likes talking to humans. Even if they're targets to kill, he must chat with them, figuring them out before acting. When there are no orders from Muzan, he focuses on training, because after Doma became upper 2, it became annoying. So, he complained to Muzan. That was the only time he spoke to Muzan. And what is Akaza's impression in Muzan's eyes? Of course very approved. Scolding aside, talks little, focuses on performance. An employee, what boss wouldn't like that? Additionally, he challenged upper 1 Kokushibo to a blood battle. The result goes without saying, defeated miserably. Akaza's first appearance was in the Mugen Train arc. After all, as the first upper moon to appear, his presence had to be maxed out. Originally he was searching for the blue spider lily per the boss's orders, but Anmu was too weak and got killed. He was closest to the scene, so the boss sent him over, working overtime temporarily. Following his principle of despising the weak, he immediately targeted Tanjiro, whom he considered weak, rather than the Flame Hashira. This battle, as we mentioned in the Flame Hashira biography, is a clash at the ideological level. Akaza's supreme physical body versus Flame Hashira's indomitable spiritual will. He saw the fighting spirit emanating from his opponent, approaching the supreme realm, and extended an invitation. How about you become a demon too? But Flame Hashira's will didn't waver in the slightest. His response was flawless. Aging and death are the beauty of fleeting human beings. Because we age, because we die, that's why we're lovable and precious. Strength isn't a word that refers to the body. Is Akaza powerful in strength? Indeed stronger than Flame Hashira? By far. Compared to Tanjiro, that kid can only look on from afar. But what does that prove? Akaza punched through Flame Hashira's vital point, yet was still gripped tightly by his opponent's willpower, then had to sever both his own arms. Many only notice Akaza's presence when he appeared, but overlook the fact he fled miserably in the end. This huge contrast. And the title, Who is the Victor? The author's message is already obvious. Why do we say Akaza lost? Because he actually had no chance of winning from the start. The master has a good saying, the flesh may perish but the will is eternal. For example, the sun is powerful but will eventually set. Fierce flames will eventually be extinguished one day, but know this. After the sun sets, it will rise again. A tiny flame will surely burn again somewhere, someday. The strongest body, facing the daily sun, will meet a fate of ashes. The strongest martial arts facing constantly rekindling flames will be burned to nothing. This extinguished flame refers to Flame Hashira. The flame that inherits his will and reignites is Tanjiro. This needs no explanation. A single Nichiren sword proves it. Also, I wonder if everyone noticed, Akaza and Flame Hashira are complete contrasts. First, both embody protection. Second, Flame Hashira faced blows from his father and mother's passing. Without wavering, Hakuji, after his father's passing, began self-destructing, lost Koyuki and Keizo, and completely fell into darkness. Though there was coercion, his protection somehow lacked a spiritual layer. Koyuki said after awakening, the weak aren't patient enough. They give up at the slightest thing, using protective fists to kill us. So Flame Hashira isn't just a role model for his juniors, but also a role model for Akaza, would rather die himself and protect others. Flame Hashira succeeded. Hakuji failed. Did Akaza realize he lost at Mugen Train? No. I fled because of the sun. It has nothing to do with you. Muzan's goal was to eliminate all demon slayers present. He thought he won. Thought reporting killing one Hashira would suffice. However, in Muzan's eyes, Akaza's behavior was failing to complete the job as required. Yet coming to report smugly, A small punishment was inevitable. After that, Akaza put this debt on Tanjiro's account, and the gears of his fate began to turn. He told Tanjiro the next time they meet, he will definitely take his life. So after that, in the Infinity Castle battle, the goal was clear. That was to kill Tanjiro, to resolve his hatred. Once he considered Tanjiro weak. Now after fighting, he had to admit Flame Hashira was right. This boy wasn't weak. Don't insult him. Clearly his belief was to revere the strong. But Tanjiro became stronger. Yet Akaza's disgust didn't disappear. The fundamental reason is Tanjiro's existence. Negated his beliefs. In his own words, this guy's eyes, voice, and words are all like files. Cutting from inside my organs. He believed the weak should be eliminated. Tanjiro, like Flame Hashira, insisted the strong should protect the weak. You're the same, Akaza. You may have no memory, but as a baby you were surely protected. Helped by others to survive until now. Note the word helped. We'll mention it again later. Master Keizo also taught him with words about helping. So after hearing Tanjiro's words, Akaza broke down. In martial arts, it also completely negated the supreme realm he pursued. 100 years of training couldn't reach it. But Tanjiro, whom he despised as weak, could learn it in such a short time. Not 5 or 10 years, but 100 years. But did he rely on talent? That's only part of it. Mainly it came from that protective heart, wanting to save comrades. So in this battle between Akaza and Tanjiro and Giyu, the powerful body lost to protection. That is, Flame's will, and what awakened his memories, was also protection. If you want to kill Tanjiro, defeat me first. Like Flame Hashira. This Hashira also had an unyielding spirit, and no matter what difficulties faced, an unwavering will. Protect me. Must protect Tanjiro. This is what Giyu, at his limit, silently repeated. It was Giyu's protection that brought Akaza's human memories back, making me recall that past, those detestable humans, fragile and weak. Easily dying and breaking. Disappearing. The way he prepared to attack shows he hadn't fully awakened yet. Yes, even if I die, I can't go to the same place as my family. So why not maintain the status quo? Just then Tanjiro recovered from the rubble. At the critical moment, one punch awakened Akaza, making him completely recognize himself, because when he met his master, he was awakened with a punch like this. As for why Akaza directed his final strike at himself, the most hated weak one wasn't the water Hashira, nor Tanjiro. From beginning to end, the weak one who should be defeated was me. This is what he realized after awakening. Continue with this line. I hate the weak. The weak won't fight fair and square. They poison wells. It's disgraceful. The weak aren't patient enough. They give up easily. Using protective fists to kill out, bloodied the master's important Soryu techniques. Couldn't even keep father's dying wish. What I really wanted to kill was here. The weak one he spoke of was obviously himself. His smile before the final strike was thanking Tanjiro and Giyu for calling him back. Perfectly matching this episode's title. Thank you. Fully awakened Hakuji struck at himself. But he didn't start dissolving, representing that Muzan's demon blood within Akaza's body was resisting. You can see that Hakuji's will alone couldn't stop regeneration. Enough, stop. Don't regenerate. It's over. I want to go straight to hell. A person's life shouldn't only be about protecting them. The bonds created through protection are even more precious treasures. Hakuji's family was like this. Whether Hakuji's protection succeeded or not, their feelings for Hakuji wouldn't change. It's okay, Hakuji. Thank you. No matter what you become, a son is a son. A student is a student. Even in death we won't abandon you. Though we can't take you to heaven. Didn't you want to become stronger? Is this the end? The meaning here is, with his family's bonds helping to, Hakuji successfully defeated the demon blood he couldn't defeat alone, and returned to his family as a human. Therefore, the result of this battle became Akaza's physical body vanished forever. But that human boy buried deep inside Hakuji won. So Akaza's story ends here. Thank you for watching.